Now, in a big bid to unite the opposition, Mamta Banerjee has called for a meeting on the presidential polls with all political parties this evening at 3 p.m. And what comes as a big blow to this message of unity that Mamta is trying to cobble up, the TRS, the Aam Aadmi Party, they're set to skip Mamta's huddle. Sources have confirmed to us here on India Today that the Aam Aadmi Party will not attend Mamta's opposition meet. Similarly, the TRS, the Telangana Rashtriya Samiti, also doesn't want to share a platform with Congress, so they're going to be skipping it because the Congress has confirmed their attendance for Mamta's meeting. Big cracks emerging in opposition unity, and what this essentially means is advantage BJP all over again. We've seen several such attempts to cobble up, a united opposition, to put forth a front. But the problem essentially is that each of these parties have their own national ambitions, which is why, again, it's becoming impossible for Mamta Banerjee to gather all of them on one platform. Amit Bharadwaj is joining us with more details on this. Amit, 22 parties that have been extended an invite by Mamta Banerjee, and slowly news trickling in of who's in, who's out. TRS, Aam Aadmi Party have said they're not going to attend.
Well, Akshita, the Trinamool Congress had tried to put up a national flank this time around, where all the opposition parties can come together. And that is why Mamta Banerjee personally had written letters to 8 non-NDA chief ministers and leaders of 22 non-NDA political parties, including the Congress, Aam Aadmi Party and TRS. Now, what we are seeing that TRS has distanced itself from today's mega opposition meet over the presidential polls. What we are learning from our sources is that TRS is not comfortable with the Congress's presence in this particular meeting. Remember, KCR himself had been roaming around the country, meeting several non-NDA chief ministers, trying to, float a similar common platform for the opposition parties. Now you have TRS backing out from today's mega opposition meet. What comes as a shocker, rather a surprise, is that even Aam Aadmi Party has distanced itself from today's mega opposition meeting. Now remember, Arvind Kejriwal and Mamta Banerjee share a really cordial relationship. Even in the past, when Mamta Banerjee had visited the national capital, Banerjee and Mr. Kejriwal had met at, Banerjee's residence in the national capital. So
right.
Even after that, you have Aam Aadmi Party distancing itself from today's mega opposition meet. What we are learning from our sources, Akshita, is that Aam Aadmi Party might take a call after the name of a candidate is zeroed down. So that is the big news coming up.
They haven't ruled out, uniting with the opposition, but right now their message perhaps is that it's a bit too early to take a stand. Paulami Saha is joining us with more on this. Paulami, as far as the TRS is concerned, they've been taking on Prime Minister Modi, the BJP, time and again. But the TRS has also been very, very public. KCR has been very vocal about the fact that he has national ambitions now, which is why perhaps he's chosen to skip this meeting.
That's right. In fact, the TRS did mull over sending someone to this meeting all of yesterday. We heard various names from MP Keshav Rao to former Lok Sabha MP B. Vinod Kumar. Several names did the rounds, but the latest update which is coming in from the top sources within the TRS party that we've spoken to is that late last night they finally decided that they will not be sending anyone to this meeting. Now, some within the camp are suggesting that this is because the TRS doesn't want to share a platform with the Congress. Remember that the Congress will be represented by Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge at this meeting. The TRS is also, in fact, fighting and contesting against the Congress party at the state level in Telangana itself. It is a rival opposition party in the state of Telangana, and of course, as far as the national ambitions, like you said, goes for the TRS party and its chief K.
Paulami, just stay with me. I want to take this across to Mr. Khalilur Rahman of the TRS, who's joining us on this broadcast. Sir, can you confirm for us that your party will not be attending the meeting today called by Mamta Banerjee?
Yeah. The party has taken a decision not to attend because our stand is very clear from the day one, actually.
Can you elaborate on that, sir? What is the TRS stand?
No. Because see, the TRS, has been trying to bring all the like-minded opposition parties together and work with them at the national level. Stands Congress. And even in this presidential election, because the TRS, has to take the decision And by today's meeting, the TRS has decided not to go in it.
Mr. Khalilur Rahman, so your objection is to the fact that Congress is part of this meeting. It's not that Mamta has called the meeting.
Yeah. That's right. It is the meeting which has been convened by Mamta Banerjee. But that's what I told you, because still there's a time. So that's the reason, because the TRS has not yet taken the decision actually. So I mean, still the time is there. So TRS will take its own decision, then we will decide.
Can you give us more clarity on that, sir? Because is there a possibility still that the TRS could back a united opposition face for president? Is that still a possibility?
I mean, that cannot be said right now.
Okay, all right. Mr. Khalilur Rahman of the TRS, thank you for joining us here on India Today. The message is very, very clear from the TRS. They're not going to be a part of this particular meeting because the Congress is there for this meeting. They have no problem with the fact that Mamta Banerjee has called this huddle, but they've said very clearly that our stand on this is very, very clear, that we will not be on the same platform with the Congress. The TRS essentially saying that we want to go national, we want to go big, but we want to create an opposition party, or an essentially unity of all opposition parties minus the Congress. So they're saying we want everyone to get together under our leadership, but without the Congress. So that's why the TRS will not be attending this meeting. But as far as the presidential elections are concerned, this means huge ramifications for the opposition. Will they be able to put up any sort of front against the BJP now, with one party after another backing out? Remains a big question mark. But as far as the TRS is concerned, they're saying it's too early for us to really reveal what our strategy is. It'll all come down perhaps to one issue: who is going to be the presidential face for not really a united opposition, a disjointed opposition, but if they come out with a face, perhaps if it's someone who unites all political parties, then you could see a change of stand by the TRS and, for that matter, the Aam Aadmi Party as well. But for the moment, right now, it's very clear that there's no unity whatsoever among the opposition ranks. Each of them have their own agenda. Each of them have their own strategy, which they're clearly following. Mamta Banerjee calling for a meeting. The fact that she is someone who gets along with the likes of KCR, who gets along with Kejriwal, that hasn't cut any ice. And the fact is that Aam Aadmi Party, TRS, are still sticking to their guns as far as the presidential elections are concerned.